Hello, welcome to Reimagine Leadership Consulting Limited, where we are keen on organizational leadership development, being able to assist the leaders in organizations to maximize on their potential, both individual and professional potential. And so one of the tools we use, or one of the tools we either use or recommend to leaders to use in the organizations is coaching. And in a short while, we'll be able to see how coaching is different from other interventions like training, mentoring, and consulting. So just before we go on, we can talk about coaching as a methodology for creating purposeful and positive change. And so it is increasingly being used in personal development, also increasing organizational effectiveness. We can see coaching in the present time is being embraced by businesses and even organizational leaders, managers, professionals, and individuals also engage coaches to just advance their careers and enhance their personal lives. And so coaching has a background. There is a history of coaching, and there is a philosophy from which coaching is emanating, and there is a mindset of a coach which when applied, it can really help the leaders to maximize on their potential. And so we will be able, somewhat say that there's one of the coaches in this country, I think, called Gishara Susan. She observes, and I agree with her, that rapid and constant and also disruptive changes have really become a new norm. And this has prompted companies to move from traditional command and control practices and to just differentiate or to move to a different leadership approach. So the new model requires that managers to give support and guidance rather than instructions. Very interesting, because in the leadership in the past, and the leadership has really evolved, but in the past there was this tradition of command and control, and so to force loyalty and also performance. But now there's a new approach which is called coaching. So the new model requires that managers should be able to give support and guidance rather than instructions. And this model enables employees to learn how to adapt to constantly changing environments in ways that unleash fresh energy, innovation, creativity, and commitment. And that's what leaders would want to see happen in their organizations, where the workers or the employees or the professionals, can be able to unleash fresh energy, can be innovative, can be creative, and can be committed, what we call organizational commitment. And so this is where really coaching comes in as a tool, an effective tool that can be used by managers and leaders to effect change and also to affect performance. At Reimagine Leadership Consulting Limited, we partner with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process to inspire them to maximize their personal and professional potential. Coaching unlocks previously, and listen to this, previously untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership. So there are those untapped sources of imagination, of productivity, and of leadership that now coaching as a leadership approach or as a tool can be able to unlock. So everyone has goals they want to reach. This world, everyone has goals they want to reach, um, and they are striving to really overcome. And sometimes, there are challenges that you have goals that you want to reach, but again you are faced with challenges, and every time you are striving to overcome those challenges, and sometimes you find yourself stuck, in an area that either it is taking you long to come out of it and to move forward, or you are not even able to come out of it. And so that's where coaching helps you to be able to come out of the place where you are stuck, just so that you can be able to reach your goals. And so and partnering with the Reimagine leadership consultants, coaches, we can be able to change your life and also set you on a path to greater personal and professional fulfillment. That's why we are here as Reimagine Leadership Consulting Limited. We also assure you that as you give us opportunity to be able to coach you as a leader or leaders in your organization, we understand that in the era we are in, issues of data and information are quite sensitive, and there is, even in this country, there is already an authority that deals with the issues of data protection. And so we can assure you from the onset that we understand that we need to keep that confidentiality of information that we obtain from you around coaching engagement. And so I just thought it is important to assure you of that. And so there are key pillars underlying the coaching philosophy, and one of them is we can say everyone has a potential. Everyone of us, we have a potential. We have potential and something to offer the world, which is rarely fully utilized. So just note that you as an individual and everyone in this world has the potential and something to offer to the world. You surely have something that you can offer to the world, and it's always rarely utilized to the fullest. So there is always a way. What are we saying? We are saying that there is always a way in, there is always a way out, there is always a way over, there is always a way under, there is always a way around, and there is always a way through. And so you cannot be stuck. There is a way out. Most of the time, people have solutions to their own barriers and obstacles. A very important point to underscore that most of the time you have, or people have, solutions to their own barriers and obstacles. That's why coaching is not about feeding you with the answers, but it is just partnering with you so that you can be able to bring out the solutions and the answers to your own barriers and to your own obstacles. So when we use coaching as an approach of leadership or a tool of leadership, one of the things we do is to just use powerful questions that have the greatest capacity to yield a transformational answers or solutions. So all a coach will do in the session is just to ask key questions or powerful questions for the purposes of being able to bring out, the transformational answers or solutions. And also we agree that you as a person being coached, you have your own solutions, and so what we just do is to help you to generate or generate ownership, energy, enthusiasm, and be committed and responsible. So when we coach you, what we are saying is you are not really expecting to receive ready-made answers from the coach or from the leadership coach, but we work together to be able to help you to own solutions, because the solutions you own can be lasting than the solution somebody brings to you. We also just help you to generate ownership, that ownership that you need to really generate, and to help you also to bring out the energy around that problem or that barrier or that challenge, so you can be able to generate your own energy, your own enthusiasm, and also to be committed and also be responsible. And so those committed decisions and actions emerge from what we call conscious awareness. When you become aware of yourself, of the strength that is on your inside, of the power that is on your inside, and then you find that you are able, you are more committed to the decisions that you make. And so everyone, including you and me, we are actually work in progress. You can never say that you have reached your optimum, or you've reached your, you've reached your, the highest peak. We say we are always work in progress, and we can always do more and more when positively challenged. So we are work in progress. We can be able to do more when we are positively challenged. And that's why coaching comes in to just help us to be challenged or to be challenged in certain areas. So why does coaching, why do you think coaching really works? So coaching creates self-awareness, and most often than not, people underestimate what they are capable of achieving and their inherent capabilities. So when we approach in this process of coaching, you will be able to, it creates, or it helps you to be self-aware. It creates self-awareness, and so you will come from that space of underestimating who you really are, or the potential that is in you, and be able to understand the capabilities and the abilities that are embedded in you. And so coaching will help you to be able to bring in this, to bring out these inherent capabilities. Coaching also creates new possibilities and options. Coaching, it triggers people to explore all possible options, leading to better utilization of their efforts and time. And so this is what coaching also does. So I just want us, to really help you to look at coaching in that manner, that it creates possibilities and options, and so it triggers people to explore all possible options. Many times we do not explore all possible options, but when we begin to ask you powerful questions, you begin to look at to realize, wow, there are quite a number of options that I can consider. And so this leads to better utilization of your efforts and your time. And so coaching again instills ownership and self-responsibility. The inbuilt accountability mechanisms, inherent in coaching. it propels people forward faster and systematically. And so what we are saying is that why coaching is important. It is able to trigger you to explore all possible options, and again it is able to help you instill in you ownership and self-responsibility, which are very key in leadership. So the inbuilt accountability mechanisms are actually inherent in you. And so what coaching does, it just propels you forward faster and also systematically. And so you will not remain stuck, in thoughts and in dilemma. Again, coaching, it is an inbuilt accountability. Under coaching engagement, the coachee is not left to their own devices. So will not leave you to your own devices, but instead there is you are challenged. You are challenged to identify. You are challenged to identify and institute your own support and accountability. You will see that when we begin to engage with you in coaching sessions, and so it just helps you to identify and institute your own support and accountability mechanisms in order to ensure that you always remain focused and on track. And so accountability is very, very important in coaching, because when we help you, when you are a leader that uses coaching as an approach, in your organization, you realize that you will also help your staff or your people under you or your followers to be able to ensure that they always remain focused and on track. And so this would really help you as a leader. Are you seeing why coaching now is important in leadership? But as we just move on a little bit, and just look at what coaching is not. It's very important because there's a confusion in the minds of many people about what coaching is or is not. But let's first look at what coaching is not. So coaching is not telling others what to do. This is instructing, and though it works, in some instances it denies others a chance to think and be innovative and grow. So it's not telling others what to do. It's also not stepping in to do their actual work. You do not step in to do the work of your client or your whatever it is, maybe your employee or the person you have assigned duty. So coaching is not, when we do coaching, we are not coming to step in to do your actual work, because this would breed lack of trust and disengagement. So if I step in to do your work, then as a coach, then what I'm saying is I don't trust you with this work, and so what happens is you will disengage. And so coaching is not stepping in to do the actual work of the coachee or the client. And also coaching is restricted to formal or scheduled discussions. So coaching should not take place whenever coaching should take place whenever a coaching opportunity presents itself. It is about making it a way of life. And so when we are coming to help you to be a leader that uses coaching to tool or approach. What we are saying is that you will be able to make coaching a way of life, even in your area of engagement. And coaching is not only a solution for the low performers, the way we think, for the low performers, but also a tool for managing high performers. In organizations, there's that what people are put on performance programs because their performance is low. And so what happens is you're put on performance program, and then you are assigned a coach. So coaching is not only a solution for the low performers, but it's also a tool for managing high performers. Everyone needs coaching, but in different shapes and magnitude. So we all need coaching, but in different ways. And so again, coaching is not an event, but a journey. It's a process. So personal development is always work in progress, and every step of growth presents new challenges and opportunities. And you must have seen this one if you are, in a organization setting. You realize that when we talk about personal development, it's actually always work in progress. And so every step of growth, as you grow to this level in your work or in your organization, you find that at that level of growth, that level presents itself as a new challenge, and also represents new challenges and new opportunities. And so coaching is not, and I like this, coaching is not a prescribed solution. It's not an answer, but a joint exploratory process. So I do not prescribe to you like medicine, go and do this and that. I do not. As we said, coaching helps you to find solutions to your own barriers and challenges. And so the coach acts as a trusted and objective sounding board. So as a coach, I'm just there as a sounding board. And so I help you to be able to explore options, to evaluate and prioritize the best actions to help you to be able to achieve the desired goals. So I hope you get it. Coaching is not prescribed solution, or does not prescribe solutions, does not answer, but coaching is a partnership, is a joint exploratory process where now you can be able it acts as a trusted and objective sounding board. That's what a coach is. Finally, as we conclude, let's see what coaching, just look at coaching versus other development approaches. So coaching, in the simplest words, it's leading and inspiring people through questions. Coaching focuses on creating awareness and facilitating people to take responsibility that increasingly expand their performance horizons. So coaching does not necessarily focus on problems. A coach does not offer their experience or take responsibility. Instead, what we do is that as a coach, I would use the coaching competencies, to bring about a positive change in the coachee or the coachee's life or the client's life, and also to help in development of the client. So that is what coaching really is. And also So we have said coaching does not necessarily focus on problems. It's important to note that, but it also does not offer, or a coach does not necessarily have to offer their experience or take any responsibility. So what we do is just use our coaching competences to bring about positive change in the leader, or even in the development of the organization. So mentoring, let's look at mentoring and see. This entails inspiring and building others' capacity through experience sharing. It could also involve sharing knowledge, tools, information, networks, and so forth. And so the mentor gets their legitimacy for the fact that, they have been there and excelled. That's where they obtain their legitimacy, that they have been there and they have excelled. So that is what a mentor is. So mentoring rides on the fact that the mentor, has been there and has done it. For example, one cannot mentor a manager on how to plan if they have not been there. One cannot mentor on managing teenagers, for example, if they have never handled teenagers before. And so mentorship involves experience. How about consulting? This is about providing specific expertise, advice, and or fixing technical problems using prescribed terms of reference for the client, or even for the client at a fee. And so the client or the coach does not have to understand what the consultant does and how they do it, as long as the problem is solved. So the client, it's not his problem really to know how it happens, because they are paying a fee to the coachee, to the consultant, so that the consultant can be able to use their specific expertise advice to fix the problem that is there. Now, how about counseling? Counseling focuses on diagnosing disorders, and also looking at their causes and bringing healing through providing safe and supportive environment for sharing and healing. And so this is purely therapeutic, and the past is very important here. So the counselor will want to know where you are coming from, where this problem is emanating from, what happened in the past, and all that, and so that they can be able to offer a relevant therapeutic expertise. And so it's just about dealing with the diagnosing the disorders, and looking at their causes, and that tells you that they have to go back to history of the client, and so that they can be able to bring healing just by providing a safe and supportive environment, so the client can be able to share and receive healing. Finally, training. Training is about instilling new knowledge. So the trainer doesn't have to practice or to have practical expertise in what they train on. So they just be able to instill the new knowledge, and of course they acquire that new knowledge from various sources and be able to instill that knowledge. And so it's what the assumption is: you may not be knowing, and you may be lacking knowledge in that specific area. So the trainer comes and helps you by just instilling that knowledge in you. And so we can be able to see from this how coaching is actually different. And if you ask me, it could be the best approach or the best tool of leadership. We'll continue in the, I hope I've been able to help you to understand why we are there as Reimagine Leadership Consulting Limited, to just be able to partner with you and to just guide you so that you can be able to know how to discover yourself, how to identify the potential that is in you, and how to maximize on that potential, and to bring out positive results, to achieve the desired results, and also to reach your goals. Thank you very much for just taking this time to listen and to understand. So in the days to follow, I hope you'll be able to give us opportunity to coach you as an individual, or your leaders, or your group. Thank you, and God bless you again.